I think we all as photographers have our ideal situations for taking pictures, and I think one thing that we all have in common is the struggle with hard hitting sunlight. I've been shooting seascapes for many years and I've usually avoided the midday sun and also rocks. Why the rocks? I don't know. I always find them uninteresting and lifeless for black and white photography, or at least the rocks that we have here on the island, which are usually quite rough looking. But on this day I decided to face the music and try and take pictures of rocks at the beach in the midday hard sun. I was shooting the Bronica ETRS camera and a roll of Ilford's Pan F50. When I got back and developed the negatives, I was surprised to see images that I liked. Have I stumbled across a new photography subject for myself? Just maybe, I have. I knew it was going to be a tricky shoot. The sun was right above me and any rocks with water on would have bright highlights. When I got on location I spent ages before I even got the camera out, just trying to imagine how a print would look. I nearly walked away, but it had taken me about half hour to get on location, so I thought to myself, I'm here, so I may as well just carry on and get on with it and see what happens, and I'm glad I did. I used an ND8 filter which slows my shutter down by 3 stops, just so I can get some motion blur on the water. At f11 that was giving me a shutter speed of 1/8 of a second. I also pulled the Pan F film down to ISO 32, so effectively I was overexposing and intending to underdevelop in the development. That would just help me a little bit on the high contrast scenes. A polarising filter would have been handy, but I don't have one for this camera, and in fact the ND filter that I was using was too big and I had to hold that over the lens, but that didn't cause any trouble. I think the only trouble that I did have was noticing that the tide was coming in quite fast, so once I'd set up the tripod and the camera ready to take the photograph and my composition, I was soon getting chased back by the tide, which was great because I was after water motion blur anyway. So I'll stop rambling on and let the rest of the video play, and then I'll get in the darkroom and hopefully I can make a couple of nice prints to show you guys. That's hard work on those rocks. Jeez. I don't think the conditions are great. It's pretty bright, but I just wanted to come out and take some pics. So see what they look like, eh? I've got to walk up there now. So this was the first time that I've used Ilford Pan F50 in 510 Pyro, and the negs look okay. I was expecting them to be a little bit less punchy, but we can work around that on another time. Another practice to write down and keep for experience. For the printing, I went straight to a contrast 0 filter and I made some tests. I was happy with the test, but I felt the highlights were just as bright as the paper base itself, and my shadows with the contrast 0 filter were starting to build up. So I took 5 sheets from the box and put them under the enlarger for a pre-flash, just to take the inertia off the paper. A little bit of dodging around the water area I felt was needed, and then it was time to see what my print looked like. I was happy after the tests, and also felt the pre-flash helped my highlights out a bit as well. And whilst that print was drying, I put a second negative under the enlarger to print again using the pre-flash paper. And as my prints were drying, I also hang my wellies out to dry as well. So overall, I was pleased that I stayed at that location, as I feel like I could get more into this kind of photography. Had I walked away and gave up because of my feelings for rough looking rocks and hard sun, then I wouldn't have had this small experience to walk away with. Would I go back to that location in hard sun? Probably not. I feel early morning or late afternoon, or even a light overcast day would be better light, but I definitely will be sourcing out more rocky beach locations now I've overcome my initial thoughts. But that said, I did find the hard sun created some nice looking reflections in the water. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.